Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the Bretagne Panther, or Baguette Panther, whichever way you want to call it. It's the Tier 6 French Premium Medium Tank based on the Panther and is located on the southwest spawn of Live Oaks under the command of stig80. Now he's a new name because he's a new member of the group, but he has followed the group for a while and he's got a friend in the group as well. Okay, this is the Panzerkampfwagen 5 Aslains A. It's the Panzer 5, otherwise known as the Panther. Started building them, well, they were testing them in 1941 and 42, or around 42 actually, I think it's closer. And they started building them en masse in 1943. Now it's got a 75mm gun, which is capable under this one of 135 alpha, penetrating 150mm with standard ammo, and with the premium ammo it will go through 194, so it's got decent penetration. Now, like most Panthers, it's got decent hit point pool, very accurate gun, which he's scored his first hit on, but it's a low roll for 107, but the chappie has come back to do a bit more spotting. Might be expensive for him if he keeps doing that. Now this vehicle's got very decent DPM, so it's 2000 hit points a minute, which, yeah, unfortunately though, it's also fairly vulnerable because it's got weak side armour, and he just took a shot right in his side from the T-3485M, and the Arty is targeting him as well. Yep, there's one Arty on the enemy team. It's a gorilla, and our gorilla seems to be firing in the same direction. Rather, our tank is not a gorilla, it's actually a Fifi. Okay, tries to get a shot there on the enemy Stug, and there's the enemy gorilla firing in. Our Fifi's firing in as well. Now I ought to tell you a bit more about this particular tank. It's a pair of Panthers got captured in France. They were actually abandoned by the crews. Presumably they just didn't want to fight anymore, or they'd broken down in some way. And the French quite happily captured them and started using them and training their crews to use these tanks. Of course, they expected that they'd probably get more available. In fact, they did. At the end of the war, there was plenty of German tanks still available, and the French took some of them off the tanks that are actually captured in Germany. But of course the Bretagne Panther has got this special coloration. They painted it up special so people could identify it. One of them was called Bretagne, after Brittany, and the other one was called either Auvergne or Auvergne or Dauphine, depending on your point of view. Unfortunately, we just lost one of our tanks. It's a VK3001H. One of the enemies has come across the gap. It's that T150, but he actually does get a hit with the HE rounds. You could probably pen that one easily with the standard AP. Now the one of these tanks, one of the Panthers, has actually been restored by somebody for and appeared at Tankfest in 2019. I don't know who actually did the restoration, whether it was Wargaming themselves, but it was certainly quite a nice little design, and people did see it driving around the arena. It's an actual operating Panther. I know quite a few Panthers have been restored and are now working. But there's one in Australia that recently went down to the museum at Queensland. Notice how he's actually retreating with his turret turning the other way around just in case they pop their heads up. But he might take a round when he goes up this area here. It would have been better actually if he'd gone underneath the bridge to pull up the other side, because if he goes up this side he's going to be very slow and the enemy's getting a couple of free shots at him in the process. Yeah, well, he's lucky that shot actually hit the tracks rather than hitting anything vital. The armour is fairly good at the front. The turret armour on the mantlet is 100mm, but the rest of the tank is not actually fairly thin. The biggest armour you're going to get is 18mm on the front on the hull, on the upper plate, but it is well angled, which makes it fairly difficult to penetrate. It's also got a decent hit point pool as well. For 940 hit points at tier 6 is not bad. Okay, so he's retreated back to the cap because the enemy tanks, the enemy heavies, are coming in from the town, and the first one's made his appearance. It's a KV-1. Well, first shot penetrates. It's a high roll for 142. Where he's located at the moment, he's got plenty of cover, so when the enemy does turn up, there's a KV-2 on the way, a T1 heavy, and a few others. He's just going to hold the cap area. Got a few other tanks as well which are guarding this corner, but everyone's being squeezed into this corner for the moment. And here comes the T1 heavy. First shot pens. Next one will be a kill shot. If he can get it. Yes, he does. Good. So he's got his second kill, and potentially he's got a patrol duty. It's the KV-2. Oh, he pops him as well. 3 kills now. The P-43 Biz is probably just across the other side of the plane, near the cap, on the other side in the dip. The enemy's just one tank up on us at the moment. Okay, P-43 has actually gone around, but he's out now. Oh, shot missed. Well, no, still not getting it. Standard reload on this tank is 4.09 seconds. He's got 3.45. He is keeping well concealed, but he's actually finding it difficult to spot some of the enemy as they move about. Yeah, that KV-1 managed to move about without getting hit. It looks to me like the enemy are all coming round to one side, to the bridge side. And another enemy tank has gone down, the T1 heavy. He might get spotted here as he goes through the woods. He was in fairly good cover. The KV-1 is moving to his left. He's trying to get closer to support his teammates, I think, more than anything there. Okay, you can now see the KV-1. And he gets one pen. Oh, he's got a fire. He set the KV-1 alight, and he punts another one in just for good measure. And there's the kill shot. 4 kills now. The only problem is that there's only 3 of them left. There's only 3 left on the enemy team now. Trying to get a shot on that P-43 Biz with the 90mm gun. Okay, where is that KV-1? It's a bit of a problem. Just across. Is he going to try and dash across here and get shots on them? Well, he's found one of them. It's the P-43 Biz, and he can see him. Didn't get a hit there. He's going to get hit by the KV-1 again if he's not careful. Takes down the P-43 Biz. Go for the KV-1 now. He's actually got that wreck in the way, so he's actually helping him here. Normally, wrecks at the other end would actually help the KV-1 to fire on him, but the armour is actually working against the KV-1, which is quite funny because this was the tank that was built to destroy the T-34 and the KV-1. Oh, he mucked that one up. He should have auto-aimed as he went round the corner, so it was automatically aimed on the guy's rear. He's backing up, though, without the KV-1 being able to respond at the moment. And one more to kill him. So that's his top gun. There's only one enemy tank left, but he's only got the Dicamax left on his team. He really needs to get over and help that Dicamax and stop him from being wiped out. It looks to me like the Striv might be down just the other side of the bank, underneath the bridge. The Striv has come. He's going around. Okay, yes, so he is coming around that side. and I think they can get a shot on him. Come on, take him out. Okay, takes one hit from the Striv, goes for the ram kill and gets it, and that wins the game. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was an ace tanker game for stig80 in the Bretagne Panther. He managed to get a spotter badge for spotting at least 1,000 hit points of damage, a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He managed to get 7, a Jonas for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him, and a 5 effect for doing more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle. He blocked the most damage in the game in that one, at least 1,000 hit points and 11 shots. That's a steel wall. He earned a top gun as well for getting at least 6 kills. In fact, he ended up with 7 at the end, one short of getting a Radleys, but there wasn't enough enemy tanks left for him to score that one. So nice try on getting the Radleys, but next time maybe. Well, good game anyway. Let's have a look at team score and see where he was. Well, surprisingly, he didn't get the highest damage in the game because the tank he killed right at the end, the Striv74, got 2,278 hit points, and he was the one who got the highest damage, but even he didn't get the high caliber because it wasn't 20% of the enemy hit pool. Second highest damage was stig80, he managed 2,082. The third highest damage in the game actually went to the P43 Biz on the enemy team, 1,747 went to him. When it came to kills, it was stig80, he managed to get 7 kills, 3 kills went to the Striv74, 2 kills went to the Skoda T25, the M24 Chaffee, the P43 Biz, the T3485M, and the Panzerkampfwagen 5 Ausrung H. Actually, it's 4, actually, Panzerkampfwagen 4, because the 5 is the Panzer. It's the Panther. Let's have a look at base XP. Well, he's got the highest on that one for sure, 1,508 base. He's the only player to get over 1,000. Second highest damage, but only just is or second highest base XP, I should say, is the M24 Chaffee with 705. And 700 goes to the Striv74 on the enemy team. Stig fired 31 rounds in that game, got 18 direct hits on the enemy and 16 penetrations. I think a lot of the shots that missed earlier on in the game were the ones where he was fighting over the gap along the railway line, and he was popping off those rounds but just wasn't getting the shots on target. 16 penetrations. Well, it does have a decent 75mm gun. In fact, that's one of the things that they feared about in the hedgerows of Normandy when they were actually fighting the Panthers, simply because it not only had the ability to penetrate most of the Allied tanks, it could do so fairly easily with that 75mm because it's a high velocity gun, so it just points and shoots at the enemy and it normally hit. And unfortunately it had devastating results, but they actually found that these Panthers, you can actually aim the shell for the mantlet, and if you hit the underside of the mantlet, the shell will bounce down into the actual hull of the tank and wipe it out. So I got 2 splash as well, because he did fire some HE rounds in that game. 2,082 hit points of damage, of which 404 were up more than 300 meters. 11 hits received from the enemy, so he only just qualified for the steel wall. 3 penetrations, 8 non-penetrations, and 7 hits by way of splash damage. 930 hit points of damage blocked by armor. 2 enemy vehicles spotted, 8 enemy vehicles damaged, 7 killed, and 1,258 hit points of spotting assist. He earned 42,593 credits from the game, 31,945 for personal reserves, 95,835 credits altogether, and after repair and ammunition resupplying, yes, he did fire some premium ammo, 22,024 credits profit, so he did end up on top. 1,508 XP, 2,262 from personal reserves, 4,524 from personal missions payout, and 679 because this is a premium vehicle. Took away 9,729 experience points altogether, so it was a decent earner in terms of experience, which means he trains his crews fairly quickly. In fact, actually, it's quite useful to have this tank, maybe a VK3002 paired with it or twinned with it, so you can actually train their crew, or alternatively you can actually use this or the Poodle with something like the standard Panther, the tier 7 Panther, and train the crews for that one instead. In fact, there's quite a few Panthers that are actually used under other names or other guises, so it's not the only one you can use, but it is actually quite a useful trainer for the German mediums. Anyway, that's the end of the first battle. Yes, we've got 2 in this video, and the second one is also by stig80. Let's see how he gets on. The second battle is on the south spawn of the mines map. Let's see how he gets on. Okay, off we go. Well, as you can see, one of the characteristics of this particular Panther is it's got a fairly big cupola, a bit like the Panther 4, which actually does have a fairly big one as well. So that is a weak spot you can aim for. Of course, it's fairly got weak sides as well. I did mention that in the previous video. So if you want to aim for something that will get an easy pen, oh, try to get a shot in the AMX, didn't get it, but he did get spotted. Now there are Arty in this game, so he's going to have to watch out for those enemy Arty firing in this direction. One of them's a Fifi, the 105 FH18B2, and the second one is an AMX 13F3AM, the French Tier 6, with a 155mm gun. Haven't seen any. Oh, there's the Arty. In fact, that landed on the ground just nearby, and I think it may have damaged the Eagle 7. Luckily, we didn't get hit by that shot. I think he's decided he's going to go up the east side of the map. It's going to give him a bit more protection, but there are some enemy heavy tanks at the gates. Just up here. KV-1 side scraping. Actually, good shot. Got it into the G2. And again. And he kept the guy tracked there. And again. Oh, good shot. He got the kill there, but he actually did track the guy. If he'd actually, if the KV-1 had got the kill, then I think he would have got the assist anyway. But it was actually quite helpful to his teammate to actually track the guys the way he did. Now we've got the top of the hill, so we can push forward. And this is where it gets dangerous to the KV-1S, because we've got a T-3485M over in that little dip. Hello, Mr. Rear. Yes, we'll pump one into your rear for you. There you go. And another. And we pull back. Oh, we did get a shot into us with his gun. But there's the kill. So he's got his second kill of the game. You can see he's got a mastery already, an ace tanker. He's got the mark on top of the turret. He doesn't advertise very heavily that he's got ace tankers. And he's decided to go back to the other side of the hill. Okay, CS-44 spotted out on the middle island. And that's one of the enemy Arty, and I think it's their Fifi firing in at our Eagle 7. And that was the shot from the AMX 13F3AM, because it stunned the Eagle 7. So we do know that if we go this way, we're more likely going to get spotted, and Arty rounds will be inbound. They're focusing on the Eagle 7 at the moment. Okay, he's being cautious here at the moment, and with good reason. There's one of the Arty rounds going in. It's actually going into our cap area. Now he could go up into the top of the hill. We've got nobody up there at the moment. Okay, enemy Leo's seen going across the South Island. Now he is hulled down from this position, but he's going to get spotted, which means there's going to be enemy fire coming in as well as Arty fire. Oh, what's happened here? The Leo flipped himself over, and in fact actually Stig righted him when he fired that round in. I think he did. It gave him enough momentum to flip himself back. Oh, but that shot was right on the money. Went into the turret and took out the Leo. So now he's got 3 kills. And I think the Eagle 7's quite pleased, but he drove him up on the wall there. Okay, there's still an enemy CS-44 over on the South Island. We've got enough defenders to keep that held and in check. We lost the T-3485M though that was guarding the little dip, and in fact somebody's marking that spot now. KV-1 is. I think he wants somebody over there to cover him. Yeah, it might distract the enemy because he's actually sitting in there at this moment behind that house and he can't seem to get out from it, but I think that Stig might be about to try and get shots on that ARL. That's it, easily go through the front plate because that thing's fairly weak. Goes to the lower plate, gets a kill. Another one, 4 kills now. The KV-1's almost out of hit points. This is not good. And in fact, one of their tanks, the IS, has managed to push all the way around. And we lost our Eagle 7. So we're now going to try and intercept that IS. Remember, we've got that CS-44 nearby as well. Well, on the South Island. And he's probably going to get shots on us. Oh, the IS is gone. So he came back to defend. Now, can you work your magic like you did with the Leo? Enemy Arty's focusing on our Hummel at the moment. Eagle 7 actually wasn't killed. He actually did go around the map, and he's actually taken up a position to the east. He's now being challenged by a T-34 2GFT, the Chinese tank destroyer. Okay, stig80's decided to go back round again. He's certainly getting some mileage. Okay, he's just the other side of that tower. Hello. Gets a nice hit for 122, which is a low roll. Can he get another shot in? No, because the guy's got behind the building. He's just the other side of the church. Trouble is, the enemy's got tank destroyers near their cap area, and we can't get at him this side, but we might be able to get him at him the other side. But we have to go around all the buildings in order to do that, and I'm pretty sure the enemy tanks are going to try to fire in. Scores are still even. Oh, some of the tank destroyers have come this way, and now we've got T-67 ahead of us. Nope. Nice try, though. Okay. Oh, just missed the T-34 2GFT as he went beside the church. But that time round, we got a high roll on him, 144. And another hit, low roll, 118. He's gone down to the Eagle 7. The T-67's pushed forward. I think this is very bad for the enemy because it actually means now that their guys are over on the east and we've just lost the Eagle 7. But it means now that our guys are starting to reassert themselves in the south. Their guys are fairly much spread out. Don't go up the hill. Don't go up the rock. That's what the Leo did, and it almost ended him. I go up and support the M10 now because he's putting his neck out a bit to go up there, and he's found the T-67. Remember, that's got a fast firing gun, and the M10's almost out of hit points. Yes, he's gone. He needed a bit of support. That T-67's covering the corner, but remember, he's got the Panzer IV for assistance. Panzer IV's gone into the hill, so he's not supporting the T-67. So this is where the T-67 dies. Oh, he fluffed his shot! He accidentally pulled his shot just as he was going round. This is where auto-aim helps to make sure you get shots on target. Don't try to manual aim when you're doing this because it normally ends up bad. He lost 349 hit points to the T-67, but he got rid of him. But now that Panzer IV is up on top of the hill and Arty is focusing on him. There's an M10 by the enemy plateau next to their cap. All we've got left is Stig in his baguette, and the enemy's got the Panzer IV and Panzer V and the no, it's not the Panzer V, it's the Panzer IV, and of course the M10. But I think the M10's still guarding their cap area, and of course they're 2 Arty, so they're 1 up on us. But I think we've got the advantage because Stig's got the better gun. And here comes the Panzer IV. 1 shot, that's all it takes, and he's got his stop gun. You can see somebody was using that position up on top of the hill. Somebody noted that a while back. Oh, that's the enemy Arty, and I think he was spotted by, of course, the Panzer IV. He's still stunned. That must have been the AMX-13 F3AM that did that. Yeah, he's trying to get rid of his stun. You can't do it by shaking your head. Well, he's definitely the high scorer in this game so far. Hummel's coming up to support, but we're leaving our teammate in the gorilla behind. He hasn't got the range of the full map. I'm not sure why he's doing that at the moment. Why he's moving his turret around like that, trying to shake it and fire his gun. Okay, Hummel's waiting for him to move now. He's got the top gun as well, which is a problem because, of course, that's got a low trajectory. There's only 3 minutes left on the clock, so he needs to get a move on soon. I guess he's waiting for the gorilla to come this way, but he hasn't sort of indicated it in chat. Unless, of course, he's waiting for the Hummel to go first, in which case he should state so in chat. Sorry, game stalled for me. Ah, that's why. He actually had a game stall. That's why he was shaking. He was trying to get the game to work. Yep. Mechanics failed. Okay, now, is the M10 up on the plateau? I think he is. Yes, he is up there. Okay, he's going to go round the corner here. Oh, he's got an easy shot on the Fifi. Auto aim on. Auto aim on. Make sure you get those pens. He's firing APCR, so he should be able to pen the guy. Okay, you should be able to get a pen. Just aim for the gun shield. Aim for the gun shield. Well, he gets the kill on the Fifi. We lost our Hummel, though. And the enemy AMX-13 F3 is trying to escape because he knows he's in dire trouble. I think he's acting as bait as well to try and get us to get shot by this M10. He's easily penning this guy. The AMX is coming behind him. Keep your eye on what's going on behind. He gets the kill on the M10. But here comes the AMX. And yes, here he comes. Auto aim on. Oh, no! The AMX-13 F3AM shotguns him at close range. He gets his Radley Waters. But all we've got left is the gorilla on our team who's sitting back at our cap and hasn't moved. And it's too late now to cap. All he can do, if he wants to, is try and drive up the other end to shotgun the AMX-13 F3AM. And I don't think he will. In fact, I don't even think the enemy AMX is going to even try to go there because it's too late to cap. Besides, I don't think he wants to face a gorilla face to face because, yes, 15cm howitzer can do almost as much damage as an AMX-13 F3AM can. But this, it looks like it's going to be a draw. I did say keep an eye on that AMX13F3 coming up behind you, but I guess the thing he needs to do is he needs to auto-aim from now on. Whenever something like that comes and an enemy pops up behind you like that, auto-aim, or if you're getting close, auto-aim is much, much better than trying to manually aim. Manually aim at long range, auto-aim at close. And that's it. It is a draw. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was an ace tanker game for stig80 in the Bretagne Panther, or Baguette Panther. He managed to get a 5 for effect for doing more damage than hit points to his own vehicle, a bruise the medal for getting at least 5 critical hits in this one. He got 10. He got a duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him in the battle. He got a Radley Waters medal for killing 8 enemy tanks. He would have been 9 and the game if he got that last one, but unfortunately he couldn't kill the AMX13F3, even though we had plenty of warning that he was on his way round because I could see where he was driving. A high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game. A top gun for getting at least 6 kills, but it was a draw because we couldn't kill that AMX13F3 at the end. Well, when it came to damage, he did the highest with 2,551. The second highest damage was the CS44 in the enemy team, 2,288. He was the one who was actually scoring damage by shooting into our defenders down at the south end of the map. Third highest damage in the game was the T25AT on our team with 1,805. Fourth was that VP on the enemy team. Did fairly well with 1,755. And he was using Nigel's spot, which is the spot that, well, I made fairly notorious for Arty players because it's so easy to get damage on the enemy from that spot. And they just don't expect the shells to be coming in at that angle. When it came to kills, it was stig80 with 8 kills. 3 kills went to the IS on the enemy team and their T67. 2 kills went to the BDRG1B on our team and the AMX13F3AM and CS44. And when it came to base XP, it's Stig who got the highest with 1,035. He's the only one to get over 1,000. 690 went to the CS44. 512 went to the enemy Fifi. I suppose it's because it's a draw. They did fairly well on hit points. 36 shots fired, 24 direct hits, 22 penetrations, damage of 2,551, of which 265 were at more than 300 meters. A lot of the damage Stig was doing is at close range, and that's why it would have been so much better if he'd used auto-aim to get onto those tanks. In fact, if you use Aslains mods, you can actually use the form of auto-aim where you just click on the right-hand mouse button, and the moment you move your cursor over the target, it auto-connects to the target, and that makes it a lot easier to lock onto a target when you just come into sight of them and then get every shot onto the target. So important when you are moving fast around an enemy target to keep that turret on the target. But when he was when Stig was maneuvering around the T67 and some of the other tanks, his target, his lock wasn't perfect, and therefore he was having to manually aim, and that gave a couple of seconds difference, which enabled the enemy to get a shot into him instead. 10 hits received from the enemy, 4 penetrations, 4 non-penetrations, and 3 hits by way of splash damage. 460 hit points of damage blocked by armor, 1 enemy vehicle spotted, 10 enemy vehicles damaged, 8 killed, 672 hit points of spotting assist. He earned 41,588 credits from the game, 34,566 from personal reserves, 4,500 for the Achievements Award. That's because he got an Epic or a Battle Hero medal. In fact, he got both in a losing or drawn game. 103,698 credits altogether, and after repair, ammunition resupply took away 34,158 credits, and that's even using premium ammo. 1,035 XP, 564 for the achievement, 720 for being a premium vehicle, and took away 3,119 experience points altogether. So yeah, pity that this one was a loss, but I think it's down to the fact that AMX13F3 driver did actually have his head screwed on. Even whilst you were battling with the M10 RBFM, he knew that the best thing for him to do was actually come up behind you and blast you in the rear. And I've done that myself, so I know it's so easy to do. And the AMX13F3 AM is quite a fast little arty, and so yes, it's quite easy to do that sort of thing and get the win. Sad that it wasn't a victory though, because it would have been nice for Stig if he had got the victory. He at least did get 2 ace tankers, that's something. If you enjoyed both of those replays, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm.
What you doing? Hi, you see yourself? Oh! Oh!
And of course, please do remember that we've got a second channel called The General where you can watch great replays like this without any commentary whatsoever to spoil it. Thanks for watching.